everyone, it's Rita. Welcome back. So today I wanted to do my second part of my lipstick collection slash mini declutter, and I always like to say mini declutter in my collection videos because realistically I know that I'm not gonna get rid of a lot of stuff, so you are not going to be seeing here like I get rid of 50% of my collection or anything like that. I do pay for everything myself. So it is hard, I feel, to do a declutter whenever you've invested all this money in makeup, which is, you know, what I do. So anyway, let's just get right into it. We're just going to start with my drugstore lipsticks and then just move on to my higher end. So first off, I have this beautiful L'Oreal lipstick. This one is their Colorish Shine. This one is in the shade Laminated Fuchsia. And this formula is super comfortable on the lips. And I feel like it's kind of like the perfect lipstick to just, you know, slap on and go, because you don't really need a mirror to use it. It's just super easy application. So yeah, this L'Oreal lipsticks are really comfortable on the lips, and I feel like they just feel more luxurious than what the actual price tag for these lipsticks are. I just really like them, and they have a bunch of colors in this formulation. I highly recommend this formula. Secondly, I have one that I'm gonna be sadly getting rid of. This one is by ColourPop. This one is their Velvet Blur, and this one is in the shade Sphinx. I love the packaging on this lipstick. I feel it reminds me a lot of Charlotte Tilbury. It just feels and looks so high-end, but for whatever reason, this lipstick, as you can just tell, it broke. I don't know why, because I really didn't do anything to it. It just, the whole bullet fell apart, so I'm gonna be getting rid of it. Unfortunately, I didn't have it for so long, but I did like the formula. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't a bad one. If you hear a bunch of noise right now, my dog and cat are running around chasing each other. So anyway, I'm gonna be getting rid of this ColourPop one. Unfortunately, like I said, I really love the packaging, but I don't know what happened to the bullet that it just broke. So this is going to be my first two declutter, which I used to love so much. Both of them are pretty old to the point that I know that I should get rid of them. This one is one of the regular collection, and they have, you know, this color lid to differentiate their pinks and reds and nudes and mauves. And then this one is a pretty old collection, which actually reminds me a lot to the formula of this L'Oreal lipstick. So this one used to be their Whisper something. I think it was just the Whisper lipsticks, and they have a pretty similar formula. So if you're like me and you used to like these Whisper lipsticks, I highly recommend you check these ones out by L'Oreal, because they are spot on, very similar. Like, this is like a very comfortable lipstick that glides on really good in your lips, and you really don't have to fuss with it. I can still see the name of the lipstick here, which is called the color Whisper. So this one is getting pretty old, and honestly I don't use it that often, so I think I'm gonna get rid of it at the moment. I mean, for now, because I found the L'Oreal ones that are pretty similar formula, so I'm just gonna keep the L'Oreal one and get rid of this one. And then this one, it's in the shade Let Me Pink, and it's kind of like a bit more of a purpley mauve shade. Okay, here we go. So it's not, honestly, it's not my favorite lipstick, and it's not my favorite formula, so I'm just gonna part with this. I did use it a lot, as you can probably tell on the bullet, but it's not something that I would want to keep at this time. I just have so many other pink lipsticks that I really never Kate Moss lipsticks. This one in the number 103, this red one used to be or is one of their matte lipsticks, and then I have this one in the shade Indulgence, which I'm not sure what kind of formula is this. That's how much you can tell that I haven't used it in a while. This one is, I'm not even gonna swatch it. It's getting pretty gross. I don't know if you can tell that it's kind of like darkened on the edge of the actual lipstick. So I'm gonna be getting rid of this one, just because the formula, it's not good anymore. You can tell just by the color of the lipstick changing. So getting rid of this one. This one is as old as the other one, but honestly I don't find anything different on the actual bullet. So I think I'm gonna keep it, because this is a very interesting color. It's kind of like a fuchsia barbish pink. Let me swatch it real quick. It's a very pretty color, and I don't feel like I have anything similar in my collection to this. So here's the swatch right there. It's a very pretty pink. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of the typical Barbie pink. Also pretty similar to my nails right now. So I am gonna be keeping this one. Although it's as old as the other Rimmel one, this one seems in a way better shape. A couple of NYX products. I do love NYX lipsticks. In general, I really do like NYX, but specifically I love their lipsticks. I have these two that are getting pretty old at this point. This was their Extreme Lip Cream, and I haven't used them in a while. I used to love them. They don't even make them anymore. And these ones, unfortunately, are kind of like starting to leak on the side of the packaging, so they're getting pretty old and they're not... I don't know, they have a weird formula. Although I love NYX, I feel like these are just a little too oily on my lips and not as comfortable. So here's the color right there. It's a beautiful color, this lighter one, but like I said, it doesn't feel the best on my lips. It's kind of like a little too slidey, and it just has a weird flavor to them at this point because they're very, very old. So I'm gonna be getting rid of both of them. And like I said, this wasn't really a favorite of mine to begin with, so these are not too hard to get rid of. Two more of the butter lipsticks. I have a bunch of them in my collection in different colors. I love this formula of lipsticks. Like the name says, they're very buttery, they're very soft on lips. It's again one of those similar formulations to the L'Oreal one and the Whisper lipstick. Just kind of like a more balmy type lipstick. The pigmentation is there. It might not be like super pigmented, like, you know, a matte lipstick, because that's not what it's intended to, but they are pretty pigmented and they are so comfortable on the lips. This is the kind of lipstick that I like to use whenever I'm just trying to rush out the door and I have near to nothing makeup, but I just want to put some kind of like tint to my lips. I usually go for these lipsticks, the butter ones, and I have these ones in the shade Physis and in the shade Little Susie. So this Little Susie is actually one of those recommendations from Estee Lalonde back in the day when she had the hashtag the Essie Button effect. So I bought this one because she recommended it. So yeah, the butter lipsticks, you can still find them. They're very affordable. The packaging, as you can tell, it's not the best. They're actually pretty bad packaging. They're very cheap looking, they're very cheaply made, and they're not the prettiest ones, but I really love the formula, so I'm definitely keeping both of them. So to finish up with NYX, I have these three beautiful soft matte lip creams. So I did mention this on my previous video about the NYX soft matte. To me, these ones were kind of like the original liquid lipsticks. They are super comfortable on the lips. They are very easy to apply. They leave a beautiful shade on your lips, and even though when they start fading away, they fade away in a very nice way. And they don't over dry your lips. They don't leave that weird white line on the lips. They're just super comfortable, and they come in a bunch of colors. So if you like liquid lipsticks but you don't like the feel of them, I highly recommend you look into the soft matte creams because they are really comfortable. So here we have Antwerp, which is my favorite out of the three of them. And then we've got Ibiza, and then finally we have I'm gonna butcher this name. It's called Addis Adaba. This one, which is a more fuchsia pink. The three of them beautiful, very different from each other, even though they might look similar on the swatch. My swatches are never the best, but they are so pretty. I really love these soft matte lip creams. To finish up with my drugstore lipsticks, I have the also famous Honey by Revlon. This is the Revlon Color Burst Balm. These ones were super hyped and super talked about back in the day. I remember, of course, if you are familiar with Leanne, Leanne says here on YouTube, she is obsessed with this lipstick. She was heartbroken whenever she found out the lipstick was gonna be discontinued, and as you can tell, mine has been well loved. The lettering on the packaging is completely blurred out, so you can't even tell. Just down here you can still see the sticker where it says the name Honey. And this is a beautiful, again, your everyday lipstick when you just really don't know what to put on your lips, when you want to put a little something, and it goes well with any kind of look you go for, any kind of makeup you're wearing. It's a very pretty universal lipstick. It's kind of like a more mauvey lipstick compared to like a pink one. I don't know why I threw it in here, but it's a beautiful lipstick, and of course I'm gonna keep it. I'm not as heartbroken as Leanne that this is gonna be discontinued because it's not my favorite, just because it's a very similar shade of color to my lips, so you really can't tell much difference when I wear it, but it is nice to have in my collection. My higher end lipsticks, I would want to start with my MAC lipsticks, which is the ones that we have the most of. So I used to love MAC lipsticks, and I say I used to, I still really do like them, but they're not my favorite anymore as compared to other formulas and other brands that I prefer, kind of like Charlotte Tilbury and Lisa Eldridge right here. But I still love them, especially their cream sheen formula. That's got to be my favorite formula by MAC. I also really like the matte ones, but they're just a little too matte for my liking now, and I feel like they never look full on good on my lips. But anyway, the first one, just to get out of the way because it's the only one that I have here with a special packaging, this has got to be the prettiest lipstick I have. It's so beautiful. This one is from their Boom Boom collection that came out not so long ago, and this one is in the shade Wagasa Trail. It is a very beautiful light pink on my lips. It's very light. It's so pretty, and I of course love the packaging. I'm not gonna get rid of this at all. This one is one of their matte collection, one of their matte formulas. Although it's matte, this one is a little bit better than the other ones that I've tried before for MAC, so this one is definitely a keeper. And a bit more of a sour note, we have MAC Scattered Petals. This one is in their collection that came out, I think around the start of this year or last year, in the end of last year. This one is from their Powder Kiss lipsticks. And although the lipstick itself is beautiful, like the shade is so pretty, and I don't have anything similar to this. It's a very kind of like powdery, babyish, light pink, almost a little bit nude, but it's still pink. It's a beautiful shade, but I feel like on my lips, it just doesn't look as pretty. It kind of like just sits on my lips, and I don't know, it just makes my lips look kind of weird, and I have to have them like really hydrated and really exfoliated for it to look semi-decent, and I for sure have to wear a lip liner underneath. So I feel like it's a lot of work for the lipstick, but since it's fairly new and I really do love the color, I'm gonna keep it for now, and then maybe I'll just go back to it and just see what I think in the future. That are absolutely beautiful and very comfortable formulas. We have here, I believe both of them were limited edition. So this one is Amplified Formula. So here's a swatch of Diva-ish, and it's a beautiful, kind of like more fuchsia pink. Very pretty, very comfortable, and very pigmented. As you can tell, you get like the full opacity of a matte lipstick, but being very comfortable, kind of like a cream sheen formula or like a satin one. So very comfortable on the lips, definitely keeping this. And this one was a limited edition, so you no longer can find it, but it's a beautiful shade. And for the other limited edition I have, this one is a matte formula. This one is in the shade La Vie en Rouge, which again was a limited edition from a while back, but you can tell it's a beautiful matte. This one, specifically this lipstick, is very comfortable on the lips compared to other matte ones from MAC that I have. This one is beautiful, full opacity, and very comfortable on the lips, so definitely keeping this one. Do you guys remember the days when MAC Candy Yum Yum was everywhere on YouTube? I'm talking about maybe like 10 years ago. Everyone was obsessed with this lipstick, and honestly for a reason. It's a beautiful, beautiful bubble pink, intense color. Here's the swatch. As you can tell, it's very beautiful. I feel like the camera is not doing it justice in the swatch, but just look at the color. It is the most stunning, full-on pigmented, bright pink. This is kind of like the perfect shade for the summer, spring, summer, when you don't want to do your makeup and you just want to throw in some mascara. You put this lipstick on and you literally feel like $1,000,000. It's such a beautiful shade. It brightens up your whole face just to make you feel and look so stunning. This is definitely a keeper in my collection, but it's not something that I gravitate towards too much anymore. But I still do love it, and it definitely keeps like a very good place in my heart because it is kind of like a more nostalgic lipsticks from MAC. We have Relentlessly Red, which by the name you would think it's a red one, but it's not. It's a straight up pink. It's a very pretty pink. Not the most comfortable on the lips, very matte, and I find that it's a little uncomfortable and it doesn't go on super smoothly on my lips. I'm still gonna keep it because I really do love it, and again, it's one of those MAC staples that you kind of like have to have in your collection if you're a MAC lover. It's been quite some time since I finished filming that first part of the video, and I stopped at my higher end. The only ones pink lipsticks. The only ones that I ended up finishing was my MAC high-end lipsticks. So now we're just gonna get through these last ones, and I wanna try to do this as fast as I can because this video is already gonna be super long. So first off, I am going to probably I'm gonna get rid of this lipstick. This one is one of those sample sizes that the Sephora box I would get from the Sephora box. I never really liked the consistency of this, like the formula of this lipstick. It's kind of like it's supposed to be a liquid lipstick, and there goes my cat. But it was just never completely dry, and I don't know, I just really don't like it at all. And it's a tiny size, so I'm just gonna probably just pass it through. Maybe one of my friends or my mom would like something like this, but it was definitely not for me. So I'm gonna be getting rid of this one and only Estee Lauder lipstick on my collection, and this one is in the shade Radical Chic, and it's a very pretty kind of like everyday spring summer lipstick. It is very pigmented, but it's very comfortable on the lips. It reminds me a lot to the Cream Sheen formula by MAC, so definitely keeping this one. And this one, you find them, I don't know where else you're gonna find them, but I got mine at Ulta, and they are kind of like a little bit more affordable than the regular Estee Lauder line. So I believe they're between the $20 to $25, so that's a pretty good price for a higher end Estee Lauder lipstick. Up next, I have my second Marc Jacob lipstick. This one is in the shade Georgie Girl, and it's a very pale pink. And although the swatch is beautiful, sadly on my lips, it kind of doesn't look the best. I feel like I have to have my lips well moisturized and exfoliated for me to be able to pull out this lipstick, because it kind of like just stays in like every single little crack of my lips, and it doesn't look the best. But if I have my lips well hydrated and very like freshly exfoliated, it looks really pretty. So I really love this lipstick regardless of the difficulties that I have when I use it. So I'm gonna be keeping it. If I had to pick one favorite lipstick from all of my lipsticks in my collection, it would definitely be this one. And honestly, it's just mostly for a sentimental reason. This is the lipstick that I wore on my wedding day. It's by Lancome, and this is the shade Sought After. And as you can tell, it's the most beautiful Barbie-ish pink. Whenever I was trying to find this lipstick, I wanted like an actual pink lipstick that would look pink on my lips. Sadly, many pink lipsticks kind of like pull more purple on my lips, so this one is exactly the same shade that it appears on my lips. So that's why I actually bought this lipstick. And again, it's for my wedding day, so I would never get rid of this one. I've got three Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. I used to love, and I say I used to not because I don't like them anymore. I love the formula from Kat Von D, but in general I don't do a lot of liquid lipsticks anymore. So here we have Double Dare, which is kind of like a more muted pink. Then we've got Mother, which is my absolute favorite lipstick from her line, liquid lipstick. And then we've got Bachelorette, which is a more kind of like intense, brighter pink. So here we have Double Dare, Mother, and Bachelorette. So the three of them very beautiful, but Mother being my very favorite. My only Charlotte Tilbury pink lipsticks, and I've got mine in the shade Kiss Chase and Between the Sheets. This one was actually one of those Nordstrom anniversary sale duos that they do kind of like every year, and this one is in the shade Kiss Chase, and this is my favorite Charlotte Tilbury formula. It's in her Kissing formula, and it's a very soft and comfortable formulation on the lips, but it also gives you a ton of pigment. And then this one is in the shade Between the Sheets, and it's a beautiful pale pink. And this one is in her matte formula, which is one of the best formulas out there for actual matte bullet lipsticks, because although they are matte, they're not drying at all on the lips. So keeping both of them. I wanted to leave the prettiest lipsticks to last, and to me those are the Lisa Eldridge. So first off, I have Love of My Life. I did purchase the full collection when she released it not so long ago. So this one is Love of My Life. It's a very comfortable semi-sheer lipstick. As you can tell, I have to kind of like give a couple of swatches for me to get that intense of the color. It's very pretty. It's kind of like the perfect everyday lipstick when you really don't want to think about anything and you just want to throw something in that's going to look good but without any trouble. Like, it's not going to be fussy at all. So this is Love of My Life. Up next we have Rainbow Spill, and I almost almost killed my lipstick by doing this swatch because I had it like way too up when I did the swatch and it like completely bent over, but we're good. I think we can save it. So here we go. This is a very pretty, kind of like more watermelon melony pink. It's very beautiful for the summer, very intense. I don't think the swatch is doing it any justice because in person the lipstick is super bright and intense, and I really love it. And then for my very last swatch, this is going to be Rainbow Spill, which happens to be my favorite from that collection. It's a very beautiful, again, very intense and pigmented lipstick. Both of this, Skyscraper Rose and Rainbow Spill, are both kind of like the more matte formula. Beautiful, of course, the three of them, but this one has got to be my favorite of the of this last collection. For my second category, I'm gonna be doing the coral lipsticks. As you can tell, I don't have that many, so this is gonna go pretty fast. First off, I see straight up something that I need to get rid of, and I really never liked the formulation to begin with. This is a Sephora lipstick in the shade Russet Luster, and I believe these were the collection was, or the lipsticks were called like the Luster lipsticks. It's supposed to, yeah, Luster Matte. So it's supposed to be kind of like a matte liquid lipstick, but the thing is, it never full on dried. So it was just kind of like a weird lipstick that looked wet. I don't know. I love the color. I really love this shade. Actually, I would love to find a lipstick like this. So if you have any recommendations on a color like this, please let me know, because I absolutely love it, and I think it's kind of like the perfect fall color, but I just cannot stand the formula. So I'm gonna be getting rid of this one. This one is a Milani lipstick in the shade Flamingo Pose, and although it's very pretty, I feel like I haven't used it in a while, since, like I said, I thought it was an orange and it's really a pink one. So I think I'm gonna have to pass on this one for now, just because I don't really care for the Milani lipsticks. Not because they're bad or anything, I just don't really use them as much. So I think I'm gonna pass on this one. Here we have probably my most affordable lipstick of all of the ones in my collection. This one is the Wet n Wild lipsticks in the matte formula, and these are very matte. This one is in the shade Coraline, and it is a very beautiful shade, as you can tell right here. It's very pretty. I'm gonna be keeping this one because I don't think I have something similar to this, and as you can tell, I don't have a lot of coral lipsticks, and these ones are super affordable. They literally are, or they used to be around $2. Probably they're now maybe a little bit more expensive, but still, I mean, they're probably around the $5, so they're very affordable and they are very good quality, although the packaging is horrible. Of course, it's a super cheap packaging, but the actual lipsticks and the formula are really good. To finish up with my bullet lipsticks from the drugstore, I've got this one from Revlon in the shade Siren, which again is a very straight up orange. I have nothing in my collection that looks like this, so I'm gonna be keeping it for that reason. Not that I use it very often, but I feel like if I want to wear a straight up orange shade, I know I'm gonna have this one in Siren by Revlon, so keeping it for now. And now I'm just gonna breeze through these two because these are my only kind of like liquid lipsticks left. And I've got one from the Sephora collection and one from NYX in the best formula ever, the Soft Matte Lip Cream. The Sephora is in the shade number 06. I believe it's kind of like called Watermelon or something. And then this one, it's called Morocco, which is a beautiful shade. So I'm gonna swatch them up here. Actually, this one reminds me a little. It looks a lot similar to Flamingo Pose by Milani, so another better reason for me to get rid of the Milani one, because I prefer so much more this formulation. Sephora makes a very beautiful formula for liquid lipsticks. I highly recommend them, and they are literally around $14 with taxes, so they're very affordable. And then here we go with Morocco by NYX. It's another very beautiful orangey shade. Favorite MAC lipstick, I think it'll be this one on my top 3, among with one that's gonna come on my red category. This one is Crosswires by MAC, and I don't know if you can tell, but the bullet is very well loved. I love this lipstick. It's perfect for every time of the year, especially the spring summer, of course, but I don't know, it's just such a stunning everyday lipstick. The formula is so good. It's a cream sheen, so it's very comfortable on the lips. It has a lot of pigment, and it's just very beautiful. I love this lipstick. And to finish up, I have another beautiful bullet by Lisa Eldridge, and this one is in the shade Go Lightly. And although this came out with her summer collection of the pink lipsticks, on me, this is definitely not a pink. So this is straight up an orangey salmon shade, and as you can tell, it's very beautiful. It's kind of similar to Crosswires, except for maybe like a 2 shades lighter and kind of like more salmon-y. It's very pretty, of course, keeping it. So onto my favorite category is the red lipsticks. I've got them divided again into my drugstore and my higher end. So let's start with my drugstore ones. So this is a lipstick by Maybelline in the shade Paprika Glamour, and it's an Hydra Extreme. Apparently that's kind of like what the collection was. but it is the most stunning lipstick ever. I don't have anything in my collection that looks like this, and that's why I've kept it for the longest time. So this one should be thrown away, like I said, but I'm gonna keep it because I have not found a lipstick that looks just like this, and it is beautiful and I love it, and it doesn't look weird. So I'm just gonna be keeping it probably until it runs over, or I can find a dupe for it, because it is super beautiful. Up next we have two more Maybelline lipsticks. Again, another one that's pretty old. This one was their Whisper collection, and this one is just a regular collection where they have the lipsticks matching the outer packaging. This one is super stunning. This one is in the shade Who Wore It Redder, and it is the most comfortable formula ever. It reminds me a lot of that newer formula from L'Oreal that is very comfy on the lips. It's kind of like hydrating, and it has a little bit of a gloss finish to it. It's perfect for like your everyday if you're just kind of like starting on red, although you can't find it anymore, so that's kind of like a bad thing to say, because you really can't find them anymore. They're pretty old, but this is exactly the lipstick that it reminds me to. So you can definitely still get this formula by L'Oreal, which is one of their newer formulas. It's super comfortable on the lips, and it just glides on, and you can wear it every day, all day, and it's really comfy. So this one reminds me a lot of this older Whisper by Maybelline. So if you, and then for the other one from Maybelline, this one is in the shade Red Revolution. It's not as intense as it looks on the swatch. On my lips, it looks a bit more of like a pinkish, kind of like a strawberry red. Very pretty. Keeping it for sure. For my only two L'Oreal red lipsticks, I've got the collection exclusive. This one is the Julian Red, and then the Blake Red. Both of them beautiful. I love the packaging on these lipsticks too. Here we have Julian's Red, which is kind of like a more orangey red, and then we've got Blake's Red, which is a kind of like more apple, like red, straight up red apple, very similar to my nail color. So it's kind of like your typical pretty red. So of course I'm keeping both. So up next I have two of my Revlon lipsticks. This one is in the color burst, very famous. They were like very popular back in the day on YouTube. And then this one is the most, probably one of the most talked about dupes from a MAC lipstick. This one is in the shade Really Red by Revlon, and people were saying that this looked a lot like it was a dupe for that MAC red. I can't remember the name of it at the moment. I'll probably just link it here somewhere in the picture. But this one is supposed to be a dupe for that very famous MAC lipstick that right now I cannot think of. I never had that MAC in my collection because I had this one because of all of YouTube saying that it was a dupe. So I never had like the need for that other one. And then here we've got this beautiful matte one by Revlon 2 in the shade Standout. Very pretty color. Both of them very pretty. I'm keeping both again. For my one and only Rimmel lipstick, this one is by Kate in the shade 107. This one is the matte collection. This is a very pretty, more kind of like vampy red. Here's a swatch. It looks similar to this one by Revlon, the color burst. Both of them very pretty. Two more of the butter lipsticks by NYX. I love this formula from lipstick. Again, it's one of that formula that's very comfortable on the lips. You can wear it every day. You don't really care about a mirror. It's just like just throw in your lips and just go without caring. They look very pretty. They're very comfortable. They're very pigmented. So I've got one in the shade Juju, and then the other one is in the shade Mary Jane. Here we've got Juju, and here we got Mary Jane. Again, as you can tell, this one is kind of like a more reddish, orangey, and then this one is a more darker red. You can probably tell that I love my NYX lipsticks. This one is another soft matte cream, and this one is in the shade Amsterdam. That's a hard word. And it is super pretty, kind of like your typical red apple, very pretty. It's actually running out, so I definitely see myself repurchasing it because I love these matte creams. Very, very pretty. I'm putting this lip stain from Sephora in my drugstore just because it is a little bit cheaper compared to like my other higher end. This one is in the shade number 1, Always Red. And if I had to pick my favorite true red, it would definitely be this. It's super bright, it's very intense, and it lasts on your lips all day. It's like the perfect going out red. I absolutely love it. I know I said so definitely keep my red lipstick, my favorite red lipstick, it will be a different one. But this is going to be my very favorite lipstick of all times because of the packaging and the name. So this is NARS Rita, so again my name. So I absolutely love this lipstick because of the name, of course, and it's a red, which is my favorite color ever. And this one was a special limited edition. They brought it out maybe like almost 3 years ago, and as you can tell, the whole thing is red, so it's super stunning. Definitely keeping this and never getting rid of it. It's a beautiful true red. As you can tell, it's very intense, very pretty. I think I'm gonna get up my MAC lipsticks out of the way. I've got one limited edition. This one was by the Toledo collection, and this one is in the shade Victoriana, which is a beautiful kind of like reddish pink, like a strawberry pink, like a strawberry red. It's very pretty. It's right there. You can tell like big difference between Rita, which is more like a classic red, and this one that's kind of like a more strawberry red. I keep calling all of these red lipsticks my favorites, but this one is my true most worn red lipstick of all. This one is Chili, and this one is in the collection that they brought not too long ago. I believe it's called Powder Kiss. So it's a stunning lip, perfect for autumn and winter. As you can tell, it's kind of like a more muted red with a little bit of orange. I used to have this one in the regular collection, but then they brought this Powder Kiss, and I purchased it in this collection, and it's super comfortable on the lips. Up next we have Lady Danger, which is a classic by MAC. It's again one of those kind of like orangey red, very pretty, very intense, kind of like a perfect statement lipstick. Up here we have Viva Glam 1 by MAC, and this is kind of like the prettiest red brick. That's exactly why I purchased this lipstick, because I was in the hunt for like a true red brick. So this is the closest that I could find, and it's lipsticks. We have probably what could be, in my mind, the most famous red lipstick from MAC, and that's gonna be Ruby Woo. It is super stunning. The swatch is not even doing it justice. This lipstick is going to stay on your lips literally all day. It's not the most comfortable, but it's super pretty. It lasts a long time, and it definitely makes your lips, your teeth look super white, and it just kind of like brightens up your whole face. I mean, it is so famous for a reason. It's a beautiful lipstick by NARS, and this one is in the shade Cruella. Again, one of those very famous from NARS. And this one is again one of those kind of like more vampy reds, very pretty, especially for autumn and winter. Here we go with the swatch, very pretty. Speaking of minis, I've got this, it's not really a mini, it's like a full lipstick from the Charlotte Tilbury collection from her Hot Lips. Honestly, I was just being cheap, and I bought the refill, so I would kind of like save the money from like the full packaging. So this one is in the shade Patsy Red, and it is your typical true red, kind of like a true red apple. And here we go. For my three last lipsticks, I've got the Stunning Gold Bullets by Lisa Eldridge, and these ones are her True Velvet collection, which came out last year for her autumn winter collection, and they are so pretty. These ones were the red lipsticks. So I already had 2 swatches before my camera stopped recording. So if I had to pick my favorite from this collection, it would definitely be Velvet Morning. It's the most stunning orangey red, as you can tell right here. And these lipsticks are matte, but a very comfortable matte. Up next we have the classic True Red, and this one is Velvet Ribbon. And for the very last shade, we have this pretty vampy red in the shade Velvet Jazz, which I cannot wait to wear now that the autumn starts and the winter. Very pretty. The 3 of them are stunning. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear recommendations with your pinks, corals, and red lipsticks. As you can tell, I do have a lot of reds, but I am always in the hunt for a new, prettier, better red lipstick. Really, any pretty lipstick I am all about, because lipsticks, it's one of like kind of like my first love on makeup. So I always am on the hunt for something new. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!